There we go. Okay. So the stick's back in your lap, and bring the power up to about 1,300 RPM. There you go. Perfect. Now, on the far left-hand side of the panel, you'll see your magneto switch. It says off, L, R, and both. Move that. Right now, it's pointing to the letter or the word both.
Yep.
Switch it to R. Start magneto switch. So we're looking for basically a fouled spark plug. It dropped, the RPM dropped to about 75 RPM. That's normal. Back to both. Regain our lost RPM. Go over to the left. Nice and smooth. No spark, foul spark plug today. Nice. Bring the back to both. Carb heat is coming on hot. We lost about 30 RPM, which is normal. All right, you can bring the power back. So the airplane's good to go. Our oil temperature is nice and warm. So here's the deal on this. Let me go back over this on the takeoff. Obviously, you were here last year at Winter Haven Airport. You've operated this airplane off the hard surface runway. You may or may not recall, it's far easier to do the takeoff and landing on grass.
Yes.
Unfortunately, most airports don't have grass. So we have to kind of get used to this. The idea is when you go out to the runway, you're going to line up the airplane with the center line of the runway. You're going to look straight ahead. In fact, go ahead and do that. There's no one around in the pattern. So go add a little power. Heels on the floorboards. There you go. Make a right-hand turn. Line up the airplane with the center line of our runway. Winter Haven traffic, Navy Stearman departing runway 11 northbound departure, Winter Haven. And then once you're out here and you got it all lined up, bring the power to idle. Good. So what we're going to do is, again here, if you look straight ahead, focus on infinity, you see where the runway ends and the grass begins. Yep. That's your marker. You don't want to look left and right. What's going to happen is we're going to keep this thing going straight, and when you add power right now, you know that the airplanes will go straight. The tail's going to come off the ground. Remember, it's going to want to go to the left, but because of the crosswind, it's going to push it to the right. So hopefully those two forces cancel each other out. The tail's going to fly first. When that happens, the airplane's ready to fly. So we're going to gently get the airplane off the ground, get your airspeed to 75 miles an hour, and then we climb out at 75.
Okay.
All right. You got it. Whenever you're ready.
And do you lock the tail wheel?
The tail wheel is actually locked right now. It's a steerable tail wheel, and that's why I said, you know, if you get on the brake, the steerable part goes away and it becomes a full swivel.
Okay.
So there is no pin or anything in the tail wheel, but it is steerable. It's locked straight ahead now.
Okay. Well, I'm off the rudder pedals. I'll leave that to you.
Oh, you got it. You're
really?
on the pedals. Yeah. I'm going to follow through with you. The stick neutral's about right here.
Okay.
All right. So we're going a little bit to the right. That's fine. Add a little power. Get it going straight, a little bit to your left. All right. So we let it roll forward. That, I'm comfortable with that, Chris. That's straight. So start bringing the power on in. We have a little right to left crosswind, so we're going to use the stick to the right.
Okay.
Bring the power all the way forward. All the way. All the way. All the way forward. All the way. All right. So here comes the tail. All right, she's ready to go. Bring the nose up. Good. Now lower the nose. Get your airspeed. Lower the nose a little bit more. A little more. Nice job. Nice. That was a really nice takeoff in a crosswind. We're going to start bringing the power back. And just maintain 75 miles an hour. So lower that nose for me a little bit. Very nice. So you can see in a tailwheel airplane, crosswinds are something to be very cautious of. The takeoff was fine. The landing is going to be a little bit difficult because of that crosswind here today. Let's go ahead and make a left-hand turnout. And you can see there's a little town right here, so let's go this way. There you go. And then we'll roll the wings to level. Now, because because we're not at Fantasy Flight and we're here at this airport, this is what we call airport traffic area. There could be other airplanes that are inbound. I'm listening to the radio. I haven't heard anybody. That does not mean that there's not somebody up flying without a radio.
Okay.
So we're always looking for other airplanes. Perfect. And we'll just head on out this way about another couple of miles. Was that comfortable for you on that takeoff?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I know when I tell people, yeah, okay, today you're going to do a takeoff, you've done one before, but you have to get that first one under your belt, because the first time you do it, man, I know the adrenaline's pumping, and the heart's pumping, the adrenaline's flowing.
I'm pretty calm. I got you here, so.
I won't let you hurt my plane. All right, so we're outside the airport traffic area. I'm going to turn the radio off here. Cool. Let's do a climbing turn to your right. Remember to add a little right rudder. Look at that little ball. There you go. And then we'll roll out here. Let's go back to the left. And we're looking for about a shallow angle of bank, not too steep, not yet. This road right here, going through this subdivision here, is north and south. So what we can look at to find out what direction that we're going, roads, most of the roads out here are north, south, east, west, fashion, or orange groves. They're laid out, planted north, south, east, west fashion. Cool, and we'll make another left-hand turn. Perfect. All right, here we are at 1,000 feet. So let's go ahead and lower the nose to what you think is level flight, and then bring the power back to about 1,750 RPM. There you go. Now, let's talk, we talked about this on the ground, trimming. We've never done this before. The trim handle's down there, so if you let go of this stick, what does the airplane do? Is it in level flight? It's kind of climbing a little bit, yeah. So put your hand on that little trim tab. It needs more nose down trim. So push that little lever forward, the other direction, forward a little tiny bit. All right, and then let go of the stick. Now what does it do? Is that pretty much level flight?
Yeah, it's going down.
Is it going down? So just perfect. That's how that works.
Okay.
And the nice thing about this airplane is it's balanced such that even in the pattern to land, you're not going to really have to retrim. All right. So here's what I'm going to warm you back up here.
All right.
So right now you're headed to the north. Fantasy of Flight's right there. You can see the red and white checkerboard water tower.
Yep.
Let's do a 360-degree turn to your left, 45-degree angle of bank. So you want to put that wire parallel with the horizon and a little bit above the horizon. So lower that nose some. Lower that nose. You want that wire at about 3 or 4 inches above the horizon. Right around in here someplace. So at this point, that's a 180. $270. And that's a 360. That's great, that's fine. Add a little bit more power, maybe 50 RPM. And let's try one to your right. There you go, that's good right there. Add that right rudder, keep that ball in the middle. There you go, it didn't take much. That's 90 degrees. That's 180 degrees. 270 degrees. 360. All right, that's simple for you. Let's add a little bit more power, about 50 more RPM. Let's try a 60-degree angle of bank. All I can tell you on this, we'll go to the left first. All I can tell you is put that left strut right on the horizon. That's usually close to a level turn in the sky. So lower the nose, lower the key. We're right around in there somewhere. There you go. Perfect. Look to your left. Look how steep you are. Good. If you look at your upper right-hand instrument, your vertical speed indicator, look at that, man. It's on 0. That's really good. Most people go downhill on these. Good. That's a 360. We'll roll the wings to level. Ah, there's your wash.
Yeah.
Ah, your show off. Let's try one to the right. See what you got going right. So that's 180 would be there. Your vertical speed indicator is on 0. 270, 360. So here's the crazy part. You did the 60-degree angle of bank turns better than the 45.
That's because it was the third and fourth one.
Nice. All right, I-4 is directly ahead. They got Fantasy of Flight there. Let's do a 180 to your left.
180.
Or right, your choice. All right, perfect. We'll roll the wings to level here. Let's look around for traffic. I see none. Actually, we're good at this altitude. We're fine. We'll level off. We'll bring the power back about 50 RPM. There you go. That's fine. Now, let's take you to the lazy eights.
All right.
All right. Remember, the shallower your angle of bank, the better the maneuver is going to be. If you overbank, you're not going to get any vertical penetration.
Okay.
And so I know you like to be aggressive with these, but stick with that shallow angle of bank and you'll do much, much better. All right, so lower the nose, give yourself a little bit more airspeed. A little bit faster. All right, shallow 10-degree angle of bank turn. We'll go to your left.
I went right.
That's fine, that's fine.
I went right.
That's fine. So right here, add a little right rudder. There you go, start rolling it left.
Yeah.
Roll it left, and gently bring the nose up there. Good, try one to your left. You love those. All right, hold it right there, right there.
That's awesome.
And then back to the right. Yeah, there you go. You've been watching a lot of Top Gun there. You got those stomach muscles tightened up, man. I can see it in your face.
That was probably the most aggressive one we've done. Oh, that was good.
That was cool. All right, so here's the deal. Watch this. Watch the difference. Stay with me here.
Okay.
Just be real methodical. So it's just 10 degrees. Stick to neutral. That's all you want to start with. Okay. And then you can go up. You can do nice and steep. So look at the difference. Hold it right here. So we're still only banked 10 degrees.
Right.
Look over your left shoulder. The idea is get it nice and slow to the side.
Okay.
Now,
okay.
and then we'll just gently roll it on out.
Okay.
All right, so that's the idea. Yours were fine, Chris. Really, they were fine, but you kind of overbanked, and so we did not get that vertical penetration. So over the top, we were going like 70 on yours, and the one I did, we were at about 50. So let's try like kind of a different type. So you got it. So shallow turn to your left, 10 degrees, and then stick back. There you go. Now hold it right there. Look at the difference. Beautiful. Look at this. Now it's stalled right there. Beautiful. Nice. Start rolling it to your right. We're going to recover sooner than later. Not as much G's. 10 degrees to your right. Stick to neutral. Good. Hold it right there. Now push on that right rudder here. Much better. See the difference?
Okay, yeah, I got that.
And then roll it to your left and bring it on
It's actually
up.
a smoother maneuver. Apart from the G's right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very good. See, I know you want to be aggressive. You like that. And so what people do is they overbank, and then they yank on it. And I'm like, okay, that was fine, because yours was fine. But if you're really smooth with the controls and you don't bank as much, you can see the maneuver's much better. Nice. Perfect. Good. And then back to your left. Good.
How many G's is that bullet?
Maybe 2. I mean, think about it. Right now, in level flight, we're at 1 G. So you weigh, how much do you weigh? How many kilos do you weigh?
90.
90 kilos. So you weigh close to 200 pounds. And so if you think you're weighing close to 400 pounds, that's 2 G's. There you go. Beautiful. Perfect. So bring the nose up pretty smartly here. You'll feel that. So when you pull like 3 G's, you know it. You're like, what? I mean, like you'll hear me, when people pull over 2, I start to grunt because I weigh 260 pounds. So when you pull 3 G's, my whole body's being pushed down at 700 pounds.
Right.
And that's quite a bit. All right, So let's do this. We'll come back and do some more lazy eights a little bit later if you like. Let's go. You know what? There's a prison right ahead of you. There's nothing this way. Good. All right. So let's try. We're going to do a series of stalls. Fantasy of flights down to your left down there. Which is always kind of nice to know if it's there, because if we had to land, there it is. So reach over with your left hand. The first one is the easy one. Bring the power back to 1,300 RPM. Good. Now, disregard the instruments. They're meaningless at this point. So lower that nose, put it into a shallow dive, lower it some more, speed it up until you can hear the whistle of the wind blowing through the wires. Tell me when you hear that. You hear it?
Right about there.
All right, bring it to level flight. Good, now listen to it. Learn what it sounds like as she slows down. Bring the nose up some more. Come on back some more. Come on back, come on back, come on back. Here's the stall. Hold the stick right where it's at. Here's your stall. How sweet is that? Yeah. So she speeds up. You can look at your airspeed indicator. Listen to it. There's 75, 80. Bring the nose back on up to level flight and bring the power back in to 1750. Very nice. Not a big deal, right?
Yeah.
You like those?
Yeah.
You're kind of smiling a little bit.
Oh, it's great just being up here, man.
Well, and I'm happy because I talked to a buddy of mine yesterday. He's flying a Cub, and he said it was really bumpy yesterday, and it's not bumpy today. All right, let's go back up to 1,000 feet at 75 miles per hour. Bird off your left.
Yeah, what happens if you get a bird strike?
Well, that's never happened before to me because those turkey buzzards, they're flying, because I did research, and if it's on the internet, it's got to be right? So those buzzards fly around at 40 miles an hour. Right now you're going 65.
Okay.
So we're coming up on a bird, and we're going 25 mile an hour faster than they are, and they hear us coming, and they get out of your way. All right, so let's try a power on stall. So where this would happen in real life would be, let's say you took off and you went up too steeply, right?
Yep.
Remember before I was like, lower the nose, lower the nose. Let's see what it would do. So bring the nose up a little higher. There you go. Hold it right there. Here's your power on stall right here. So it's not a big deal, but look at your upper right-hand instrument.
Yeah.
So your level flight, watch what it's doing. We're still sinking. We're coming out really fast. And so if you see the ground coming up, you're going to yank the stick back.
So it was starting to yaw a little bit there. That would be a dangerous situation, though.
What's dangerous is if you stalled the airplane and the ball is way like over here.
Right.
What it's going to do is it's going to go snap roll inverted and go into a spin.
Okay.
So if you stall the airplane, the most important thing is make sure that ball is in the middle. And if it's in the middle, the airplane's going to stall straight ahead. Okay. So reach over with your left hand and bring the power back to idle, because when we land, we're going to do the same thing. All the way back, so it doesn't come back anymore. There you go. So now we've transitioned into a glider. You hear that whistle?
Yep.
Really nice and calm up here and smooth. Bring the nose on up.
It just naturally starts to descend at what it wants to.
Bring the nose up some more. Come on back, come on back. Listen to it. Come on back, way back. Come on back, come on back. Here's your stall. Here. Now it's going to stall a little bit more because there's no power.
Yeah.
And listen to it. So it starts flying immediately. Bring the power back in. Good. So you notice, in a perfect world, there's no bumps or nothing, and the ball's in the middle, and the wings are level, this airplane will stall straight ahead. It will not fall off on a wing. If you stall the airplane at that precise moment that the airplane stalls, you hit a little air pocket or something, yeah, it might roll off left or right, but in reality, it shouldn't do that. All right, let's go up a little higher. We're going to do one more stall. You can add some more power if you want. 75 miles an hour. Well, you know, to be, I'm not just pulling your chain. You're flying the airplane well because you're not afraid of it. A lot of people, when you start doing stalls, they're very, very uncomfortable with it. All right, so we'll level off here, and we're at about 800 feet. Actually, let's go to 900 feet. Eventually it'll climb. You know what, this is fine. Let's level off here, leave the power right where it's at. Let's go back to a 45-degree turn to your left. Good. Let's go a little steeper. 60 degrees. All right, so don't let it get any steeper than that. So start bringing the nose up. You feel the G-forces?
Yep.
Come back some more. Come back some more. You're loading the wings up. Here's the stall.
Okay.
That's what you did before.
Yes.
When you go on left, because the airplane did a quarter of a snap roll. When you go on left, it basically corrects you.
Yeah, it just levels out.
If you do that going to the right, guess what happens?
It's gonna go even deeper into it?
To the right.
Okay.
Yeah, so we won't do that to the right.
Okay.
All right, so let's make a left-hand turn.
I think we were doing it to the right when I did that.
Yeah, because it'll roll just about vertically. I know exactly what the airplane is going to do going to the left. You know, it could do a variation of things to the right, so I don't do them to the right because I don't know what it's going to do.
Right.
Because when you do it to the left, if you allow the airplane to continue to roll to the left and you don't stop it at 60 degrees, it'll do something different. The nose will fall to the horizon. All right, so let's do, whatever you want to do, actually. We're up here at 1,000 feet.
All right.
So if you want to do another lazy 8,
For sure.
let's try one.
Anytime.
Let's go, let me look behind you. No one. Let's go to your left. There you go, look at this. There's 60 degrees, right?
Oh, no.
Now be gentle here, because you're going to pull some G's. There's 130 miles an hour. No, that's about 2.5 G's right there.
Oh, yeah.
So when you do those really steep lazy 8s like that, you kind of want to try and maybe recover a little sooner, because the faster she goes, the more G's you're going to pull when you recover. All right, let's try one to your right. There you go. Right rudder here.
Rudder. There we go.
Good. Now start rolling it left and do one to your left. Much better on the recovery. So shallow turn. Yeah, that G was much tolerable.
First one to a little long.
Yeah. There you go. Good. Very nice. Very good. Cool. Your very own roller coaster in the sky, right?
No kidding. Oh, yeah.
Fun stuff. Flying is fun, man. You're getting a kick out of this.
Yeah, I love it.
All right, let's do, I got something else for you to do. Reach over with your left hand, keep going in this direction, bring the power back to about 1,500 RPM. Let's descend straight ahead, gently, to 400 feet. Good. So basically what you did here is you brought the power back just like you're in the pattern, and you didn't push the stick forward, but when you bring the power back, the airplane's going to descend on its own, and it's a nice, gentle descent. Good. You're coming down to 500 feet. Let's make a shallow turn to your left. Let's go continue your descent down to 300 feet. And we'll go this way. Airspeed's looking good, just maintain about 75 or higher. Bring the power back a little bit more. Back some more on the power. Good, let's make another left-hand turn. Let's go down a little lower. Bring the power back to about 1200 RPM. Good. So basically what you've just done is you shot a pattern in the sky. There's no runway there. And let's go this way. See those cows?
Yep.
Head towards them. There's no trees there. Keep it coming down. Keep it coming down. Hear the whistle? Got plenty of speed. All right, so bring the power in to about 1600, more power. Good. There. Now, keep it level. Enjoy the view. You're down here at 100 feet above the ground.
Beautiful.
There's a little skunk.
Cows are a little concerned.
Yeah. The sky is falling again. There's that guy.
Sure, before the farm here?
Yeah, we'll make a right-hand turn. We'll go up to the south here. So now you are a crop duster pilot. And then we'll go back to your left. Now, do you remember, Chris, the first time you flew this, you were a little apprehensive about halfway through the flight? You were like, we're doing all this stuff, and you're like...
Probably, yeah. You get more comfortable.
Exactly.
As you do more aggressive things, and like you see the stalls, and then you see it recover, so as long as you have the altitude...
You're good. All right, so here's what we got. Believe it or not, we've been up for 24 minutes.
Okay.
We have the option of staying up and going to Fantasy of Flight and shooting about 4 or 5 approaches down to the ground in there, or we can head back, your choice.
It's probably best if we head back.
You got it. So what I'd like you to do is continue straight ahead, and I want you to climb up to 800 feet. That's our pattern altitude. And you can actually add a little bit more power. So the idea with this thing, I mean, you fly the airplane well. I might recommend, like, if you ever want to do this again next time, come to Fantasy of Flight.
Okay.
Because if we fly the airplane at Fantasy of Flight, then we could do, in a half an hour, we could do about 5 takeoff and landings. That's what you're ready to do now.
Okay.
Because it's easier to learn on grass.
A little bit more forgiving.
Oh yeah, they say pavement will set you free, and in this airplane it really will. Because if there's any type of crosswind and you're not perfectly lined up to the runway when you land, it might take you for a ride that you don't want to go on.
Yeah.
There you go. And then we can level off here. Cool. And then once we level off at 800 feet, you can bring the power back to about 1750. And turn the radio back on. We'll start monitoring the radio frequency. Winter Haven is... Our Fantasy Flight's directly ahead of you. Okay. So let's go a little bit more to your right. There you go, that's good right there. Cool. Well, I'm sure I said this to you last time, but I have to tell you this again. You know, by you coming and doing this, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, thank you. It means a lot to Jill and I that people enjoy doing this to the point where they do it multiple times. It means that we're doing something right.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah, thanks a lot for that. Since we saw you last, we got Jill's airplane that we were building last year.
Okay, yeah.
It's done, and she'll show it to you when we get back. And it was test flown on May 2nd, and she was a pilot, but she didn't have any tail wheel time, and it's a totally different thing flying a tail wheel than a nose wheel. So we had an instructor fly with her, because if I flew with her, we would fight. We wouldn't get along well. So I had a guy fly. The insurance company wanted her to fly for 10 hours, which I thought was reasonable. And so finally, she got checked out in it. By about the May 15th, May 28th, we left for Michigan. So I flew the new standard up there. A friend of mine flew the Stearman, and she flew her Champ all the way to Michigan.
Wow.
And then she got up to Michigan. She's flying it around up there. And then one day she comes to me, maybe in July, and she says, you know what, I'm gonna go to Oshkosh in my plane. And I was like, are you crazy? You know, that's the biggest air show in the world. You're gonna do that? She goes, yeah, I'm gonna do that. So she did. She flew it to Oshkosh. She spent a week there and flew it home. So she flew it for 100 hours from May to we got home in October. What a beautiful day. It's nice and smooth up here. You're going to get some extra flying time because you're flying right into the wind right now. So our airspeed may be 85 miles an hour, but our ground speed is probably 65. So it's going to take us a little longer to get home. So Fantasy Flight is here.
Yep.
The Winter Haven Airport is right ahead of you. You see a lake, not this one, but the one right ahead of you. Then there's another one ahead of that, not directly ahead of it, but off to the right.
Okay.
And then there's another one there. So this little line here, the Winter Haven Airport is right past the third.
So just follow this
Yeah, just
direction?
follow the lakes, yeah. Doing great. And we'll listen to the current, this is the current winds here at the airport.
400. Winter Haven, Gilbert Airport, Winter Haven, Florida. Estimated weather observation, 1812 Zulu. Wind 160 at 06.
Cool.
Visibility.
So what's happened is the wind has decreased by 1 knot, or it's about a little bit more than 1 mile an hour, so it's 6 knots. And the angle has changed from 170, or a 60-degree crosswind, to 150, or 160, I'm sorry, 50-degree crosswind. So we don't have as much crosswind component as when we left. Doing great. So let's go ahead and gently descend like you did before, back down to 800 feet. If you need to bring some power back, you can. There you go, that's perfect. Have you ever thought about getting your pilot's license?
Yeah, for sure. I just need the time.
Yeah. I don't know. I wonder how much fuel costs up in Canada. I don't know if it's expensive more than here, or because I had a guy. He was from Canada, and he had his pilot's license, and he was coming down here to get his multi-engine rating. So I think that getting your pilot's license down here in the States is more economical than Canada.
Yeah, for sure.
And so he had to go through an FBI background check.
Yeah.
And that cost him, he said, $160.
Okay.
And then so if you went through all that paperwork, then you could come down here, and you might want to look into starting off getting your sport pilot's license. That's not as long, it would have a commitment, and about half as expensive. So it allows you to fly smaller airplanes.
Okay.
Rather than something like this. And you can go back up home and fly those. And then when the time is right, you can upgrade to a private pilot's license. All right, so this is where we flew. We were flying over before. This little land between the lakes there, I want you to head right for that. And then you can maybe at this point start looking and seeing the airport. You doing okay?
Yep.
Okay. Now, the altitude is looking much better. You can bring the power up a little bit higher, 1700. There you go, perfect. So I
Is that
had,
Winter Haven right over there?
no, that's Lake Alfred. Winter Haven is dead ahead,
Dead end, okay.
right over the nose. I'm going to make a little announcement on the radio here. Winter Haven traffic, Navy Stearman. We are 3 miles north, inbound lane, runway 11, Winter Haven. All right, so I had you fly the imaginary pattern into that field down to 100 feet.
Yep.
For this. So you're going to do the same thing. Now we do have a slight right to left crosswind. So when you line up the airplane with the runway, what's going to happen is the wind's going to blow you to the left side. So what you really want to do is have the nose to the right of the runway just a little tiny bit. Yeah, there's an airport about 50 miles from here. They do a lot of skydiving.
Okay.
That's jumpers in the air. Personally, that gives me pause for concern when I'm going into an airport. There's skydivers jumping onto it.
I've done that too.
Have you?
It's great.
Really?
Yeah.
I would never do that. I would cry. All right. So can you see the airport now?
Is it right there?
Yes.
Okay.
So we have 2 runways. The runway that we're going to use comes from between those 2 lakes.
Okay.
Not the main runway, it's the secondary runway.
So we're going this way and then down?
Yeah, I'll tell you when to turn. Now, we did not practice these on our flight today, but we're going to be doing those 30-degree angle of bank turns. We don't want any really steep turns in the pattern. And let's go ahead and descend down to 800. You can bring the power back a little bit if you want. We're going to fly a big rectangle in the sky. Man, I don't know about you. This was a fast half an hour. I had fun with you. That was fun.
Yeah, that was great.
Flight. All right, at this point, go ahead and fly towards the middle of the airport. Winter Haven traffic, Navy Stearman on a 2 mile or 1 mile 45 landing 11 Winter Haven. So we're looking for other aircraft. You can see what the wind is doing right here, basically. You see the wind?
Yeah.
It's out of the south. There we go. Altitude's perfect for the pattern, about 800 feet. Traffic on 11. Winter Haven traffic, Navy Stearman, turning left downwind, landing 11, Winter Haven. All right, let's go ahead and make this right-hand turn. 30-degree angle of bank turn. There you go. Now, this is perfect. We'll roll the wings to level. We know that the wind is blowing this way. So if you are perpendicular to the runway, or if I'm sorry, parallel, the wind would be pushing us away from the runway. So we're kind of on a little modified approach. We're going to land on this runway right here. Do you see it?
So that one going all the way from this point?
From right here all the way to that other lake.
Okay.
I always shoot my patterns pretty tight because I was always taught if the engine quits you, you better be able to land on the airport.
Okay.
All right, so reach over with your left hand, bring the power back to 1,500 RPM. Winter Haven traffic, Navy Stearman left base, landing runway 11, Winter Haven. It has 11 on the end of the runway. Let's start making our turn now. Just kind of make a shallow turn and line up the Stearman with that runway. We can make another look-see on the water. Lake looks good.
Yeah, one plane, that's it.
On the water there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Winter Haven traffic, Navy Stearman, final for 11 Winter Haven. All right, bring the power back some more. You adjust your rate of descent by using throttle, bring the power way back, way back. There's the whistle. Now in short file, when we're right above the runway, I'm going to take it from you. This is the crosswind here today.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so this is how you do this. Pretty easy, kind of. All right, so we're down here, we're looking straight ahead. It's blowing us to the right. I'm gonna add a little power so I can make sure it's going straight. I think that's about straight, huh? All right, it's on the ground. Now, here's the hard part. because it wants to go to the right, and I cannot allow it to do that. So you can see the pedals. You see it's kind of heavy on the left side a little bit there. Oh, there's a guy down here going up on 2-3.
That was smooth.
All right, so see these guys down here? All right, airplane's yours, Chris. Airplane's yours.
All right.
So we'll make a left-hand turn.
Winter Haven traffic, 284 Alpha, departing.
Going left here?
Yeah. And we'll go back the way we came. Great job. So if you like, you can add a little bit of power. You got 40 minutes in the air today.
I just can't balance this.
Winter Haven traffic, Skylane, departing runway 23, left turn out.
Here, I'm gonna watch your feet while you do it. Go ahead.
Okay.
You got it.
And you're doing fine, but we're just going to kind of minimize the S's here. So that's kind of a shallow turn. And we're just going to let this thing sit here. Let that left gear cross over the line.
Okay.
There.
Then you bounce it back.
Yeah, and then bring it back. And then just like in a turn, you neutralize your pedals. Then you hang your head out the right-hand side and let that right gear cross that line. Then you go the other direction.
All right.
You got it.
Bounce it back a little bit. Neutral. A little
Now,
bit more.
what's going on here is it's hard to make it go to the left because the wind is blowing in the nose
Oh, okay.
to the right. And then right ahead of you, it says B1 5-23. So B1 means that taxiway is named B1 or Bravo 1. And we're going to cross runway 523 there. So we're going to take this next intersection off to your left.
All right.
So watch, come to the left a little bit. We're going to go off their taxiway here. There you go. And I totally agree with you. I mean, I've seen this so many times. This is the demanding part of the flight here. Now, again, I'm listening to the radio. There's no one landing or taking off on 2-3. So we're going to go ahead and cross this. Winter Haven traffic, Navy Stearman crossing 523 at Bravo 1, Winter Haven. There you go, good. Much better on the power application. When we first started out, you were adding a little bit too much power, and then the airplane consequently was going too fast.
Yeah, you just gotta give it a little bit of a plug and then
back
come
off,
back
yeah.
with it.
There you go, good. To your right here. And at this point, you don't really have to do any more S-turns. Just head right for the hangar here.
All right.
All right, go straight. And we're gonna have
180 traffic, 517.
start coming to the right. Right. Hard right, hard. There you go.
Brake.
All the way, yeah. We'll add a little brake. And then there comes the full swivel tail wheel capability right there. All right, so to shut her down, that red ball that says M, lean. And then add a little bit of throttle. Hold that right there.
Oh, perfect.
Now, the magneto switch, upper left, turn that off. And that's job well done.